Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tim Gillette with the Tim Gillette Show, and we're back with another great episode. So, this is one that, I think it's been years in the making. I've known Erik a lot of years, all right? And I don't think we've ever done a show where, like, I've been on his and he interviewed me, or he's been on mine and I interviewed him. It's always been randomly, hey, what are you doing? And we jump on camera, but we've never done, like, a formal interview. Never really spoke on each other's stages. We've seen each other around the realms. All right. And it just in this time, we've connected, I think, more than ever during this time because we're both at home. We're not traveling to some function for the first time in ages, because usually it's, hey, what are you doing? I'm getting on a plane. Where are you at? That's usually our world. But this case here, we're both at home. We're both sitting it out. And we're both deciding to take this time and help you and encourage you to get through it. So, to me, Erik is one of the coolest encouragers of people I know on the planet. All right. And, I got to say, we've known each other, I think 6 or 7 years. He'll probably tell me, and remind me when he gets on screen here. But it's one of those things that, you know what I mean? We just known each other. We just have never done this formal thing. And we ain't formal people. I'm pretty much, you're going to see, we ain't formal people. But we're people who really have a desire to help each other and help each other's audiences. So why not do a show together? So let me bring Mr. Erik Swanson, Mr. Awesome, as he's known as.
What up, man? Oh, no, I'm nervous. Are we live? What's up, man? I've been waiting down here in the green room all day. In fact, dude, this is sweet what you did. I have eggs and like bacon or sausage down here. You really
we do that for all of our guests in the green room. Yeah,
this is amazing. There's a couple of people stealing toilet paper down here. I don't know what's going on over there. That's awesome, man. And actually, you and I don't even know. I got to say something. I don't know if you and I have actually met.
I don't think we've met in person.
I don't think we have.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Like we met through what? Mark Zuckerberg, and through Facebook. And no, we probably.
For those of you who don't understand who made Facebook, yeah.
Actually, I think we met through our mutual buddy Craig Duswalt.
Yeah, Craig or Bob Donnell. One of the two of them actually introduced us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah. And it's funny, we have so many mutual friends, and it's just funny that, like, between the mutual friends, you and I and the mutual friend has not been in the same room.
No,
I can't think of ever.
Yeah. The room right here, man. This is it. I did a lot of travel. I got to be honest, Tim. This morning, I'm a little tired. I traveled a lot this morning. I went to the kitchen this morning, and I hung there for a good hour, probably, man. And then I was like, oh no, I'm late for the show. So I raced over. There's some traffic getting over here to my office because I have 2 dogs that were in my way. And I finally made the show. So I'm really excited about being here. You know what I want to do?
What?
You know how goals are really important for all this success stuff. You know what I mean? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab some of my suitcases, carry-ons and so forth. I'm literally going to pack my bags to come to work tomorrow or next week. I think I'm going to leave them by the door.
I'm packed, ready to go to the living room.
Yeah. And I'm probably going to walk down to the car and then walk back, and I'm here. Maybe I'll do a live on that. That's a good idea.
I think you should, because let's face it, that's what making the day. I put up a thing yesterday. I don't know if you've seen it, but I said, when life's getting rough with these bars have rules. The kitchen bar, you got to do your dishes. The dining room bar, you've got to put a coaster under your beer. I says, oh my gosh, the patio bar, they want me to wear clothes.
It's almost like we have to like order our own bartenders, something like that. Crazy. I actually have clothes on the north hemisphere of my body today, so I'm excited about that. Everything south, I would not. Yeah, I said one day, I'm like, you know what? I have 2 suits on. You can see one of them.
Yep. Wait a minute. I'm going to ask this, all right? Because, hey, we've spoken on a lot of stages. No. We've spoken on a lot of stages, all right? And Glenn Morshower, right?
Yeah.
So Glenn's thing about the baloney and the underwear and stuff, have you ever done anything unique like that?
Oh, man, no. Probably. Hold on. Let me do a shout out to Glenn Morshower.
Yeah.
Shout out. What up? Yeah, Glenn's been on our stages, Habitude Warrior Conference stages. Dallas, actually. Oh my gosh, don't you live in Dallas?
I do. I live in Dallas. Yeah.
Oh, dude, you should have swung by. He was amazing. So let's see. Have I ever done something like that? Not as blatant as what did he put? Rice Krispies or something in his underwear? I can't remember.
He's done like or Captain Crunch or something like that. I don't know.
He puts milk in there, honey. Yeah. I mean, what's the principle? Like, if the worst thing can happen, it just gets the nerves out of the way. That's hilarious.
Well, I've started doing this. Like, I do something that's secret, and I'm not telling it until people go, "Wait a minute, something's changed," and but I'm like, I think that should be our new thing.
Yeah,
like we should do something and not tell them, and someday they're going to be like, "So did you start doing something or not?" So because really they don't know.
Yeah,
it's like now they don't know if we have clothes on past here.
Right. Yeah, we should actually do a Zoom, just the bottom half of the Zoom, just like the whole show should be like this, and just like, so anyway, just the hand show. So do you really think so? Yes, I think it's very positive. Do you think it's negative? Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Here we go. Yeah. Oh, I can't. My camera doesn't go down that far, so I have to do. So I at least have jeans on, so when I work with my hands, it works like this. Yeah.
There we go. This is the show today, guys. It's hard to do, by the way. Like, have you ever tried to high five yourself and you miss? What the? All right, people are tuning in, going, "This is a success quotient." How do
wait a minute? How if these guys can be successful, I can do it.
How is this possible? Wow, I'll just take whatever they did and not do it, and I'll be successful. So, a series of what not to do. I was going to write a book, what not to do. Yeah.
No. I put in like one of my, because I'm like coming up with random stuff to put online, and one of mine was tell me a true fact that is not true about you.
Oh yeah, that's easy. I'm very short.
So it's like it's another. Hey, make up a lie about yourself and post it in the comments. It's like they're really.
What's your favorite number?
Yeah. Sweet. And I was just watching someone's broadcast about this, where basically the girl was going, so apparently we're in an unsafe time. So, all right, don't go outside unless you have to go outside. All right. You can't go to school because the school is closed. All right. Unless your school is open. Kids aren't infected by this unless of course, your kid who's infected by it. I mean, she was just redundant and kept going. I was like, that's stuff you would do and I would do.
It's like she has a disclaimer every time. That's always bad. When you meet somebody in an elevator and you give your elevator pitch. By the way, has anyone really given an elevator pitch in an elevator? I've never have, by the way.
No, I haven't either.
So let's say you're giving your elevator pitch and she's like, yeah, I do this. I'm a really great lawyer. Disclaimer, it's up to you in your results. She gives a disclaimer every single second of her day. That would be bad. We used to give a disclaimer on our friend. We're like, yeah, we had a bunch of friends in college. We're like, yeah, this is Joe, this is Chad, this is so-and-so. That's Scott, by the way. We have nothing to do with him past just introducing you today. That's it, okay? We're not responsible for his actions. It was really funny.
We had, in the 90s, I worked with a couple of bands and stuff when I was in Philadelphia doing stage work. And we used to have this Tuesday night, like open mic night, where all the singers could come because it was their night off.
Yeah.
And we had one girl who would get up and sing the song Zombie by the Cranberries. And she was should not be on a stage singing. Okay. So we had a nickname for her. We called her Tone Deaf.
No way. It's funny that's funny.
She's not listening to this podcast. I doubt she's still around on this planet.
Wow. You should actually go see if you can get the song Cranberries sung by the Zombies. That would be kind of cool. We used to have, I actually dated a girl. I can't believe I'm telling you this, but I'm going to tell you. I dated this girl and we used to nickname her. I nicknamed, my friends and I were like, we called her 12 o'clock. Okay. Her nickname was 12 o'clock. Her name's Christine. But, and my friends are like, why do you call her 12 o'clock? I'm like, cause she's cuckoo. She was
Christine. If you're watching this, it was the other Christine. Just saying.
No, it was the other one. She won't even know. It was nuts. I'm like, no way. Anyway, so now this is a dating show. So
we're not going to date. Wait a minute. They're dating in COVID-19? Yeah.
This is a dating. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Have you ever been on some of these dating apps? Like I was on this dating app. My friend puts me on, and they put me on all these dating apps. I'm like, all right, we'll see how this happens. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to do my own profile on this other one. So I did that. And he comes back to me, he goes, hey, how's it going? I go, it's going well. Although I don't really know like if I should accept these requests. And they're like, why? I go, because that's my cousin. He's like, what? And I figured out I was on Ancestry.com, apparently. Not a great dating app, to be honest with you. You got to stay away from blood relatives, okay? I'm just saying. There's a PSA for you guys. So, yeah, but I'm single still.
I got lucky. I found the perfect woman. 10 years, I'm lucky. And I think that's the definition of my success.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I used to know a comedian, this guy Louis C.K., and I used to hang out in Vegas. I don't know if you know Louis C.K.
Mm-hmm.
He'd say, "Yeah, I'm single." Although there's one lady who'd be pissed if she heard me say that. His wife at the time. Funny stuff.
Oh, so Erik, all right, in this time, man,
what are we doing? When are we going to start the show? Are we live? Oh my God, we're live!
We're live. Oh my God! Oh, they heard that. Oh,
I'm just kidding. I always feel like I need to shave when I see your last name.
I know it's a sharp name.
It's a sharp name. That's awesome.
Hey, people cut it up all the time.
You and I are the closest friends we never met.
Yes.
Hold on 1 second. I got to tell my dog something. Will you guys leave me alone for like 4 minutes? I'm on a show. Go see the poodle next door. Jesus. Okay, I'm back. I mean, seriously, they're like sharks. They're both like standing here. Anytime I get excited, they're like, what? Are we going to play? Are we going to do something?
Is it time to go for a walk again?
Their names are Samuel and Jackson, and it's crazy. Yeah, have you seen the post where Samuel Jackson? Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen the post where the dog is on top of the refrigerator in the kitchen, and he's like, "No, I'm not coming down. I've already walked 9 times. Will you guys go back to work?"
I've seen all the dog memes and cat memes. It's like, what are these people doing in my house all day long?
Yeah, I'm usually napping now. What's going on?
How dare you interrupt my nap time?
So what are we doing on this show, man? What's going on in this town?
So hey, here's the deal. I do this show, Erik, but I never know where it's going to go. It's
Me neither.
It's designed to be like this find out about the people. All right, I have on, and and their life. All right, and you got dogs. For you, it's not like it's a secret. You have everything on your life online. It's
right here, right behind. What do? I decide to be awesome. That's what I do. Yep.
That's the way to do it.
Got puppies. My puppies are awesome.
Most
of the time. Yeah.
So I mean, other than we know what you're doing during this time, but how are you keeping positive during this time? Because let's face it, you're a downer kind of guy.
There. I got an award. Right there. It says the most awesome award or something like that. Yeah. And I was really actually not really happy with the award because there was a typo. And so I emailed them again. I said, when I ordered my own award, I wanted you to see this. So it's kind of fun ordering your own awards, by the way. So what I do is to stay awesome is just making that decision to stay awesome, and like here, you put it in or I put it in, whatever. My little nickname, Mr. Awesome. Mr. Awesome came around because Brian Tracy and Les Brown, they called me that. So I was like, all right, well, if you guys are going to call me that, I better call myself that as well. And really it turned into, Tim, like a self-fulfilling awesomeness. It's like, look, if you start putting things in the world, then the world starts reacting to that or wanting to that. So I said, well, you know what? I'll just pretend to be awesome every day, and then it'll happen. And boom, it happens. And what I mean by being awesome is not, most people think, oh, that's an ego thing. No, it's not about me being awesome. It's about me being awesome to other people, right? It's all about, it's very similar to what you do. It's extremely similar to what you do. I should just say exactly, right? It's exactly what you do. It's getting out there and helping people. It's literally, that's what you live by. And that's why you and I have kind of this kindred awesomeness. Notice the word keeps on coming up, awesomeness.
It does.
Instead of kindred spirit, it's kindred awesomeness. And I think that we've connected through these many years and always have a respect for each other, because I think we both are the same way. We always love to give, and no drama, serve others, help other people. And a lot of people are in it, for themselves. And I was doing a training the other day here. I'll share. This would be good for if I can find it. Have you ever had sticky notes telling you where you put the other sticky notes?
Wait a minute. You mean like these?
Dude, yeah. Those are sticky notes. Mine are everywhere.
I got another one here. And then I have the stack of ideas I've come up with.
Yeah.
No, I'm not organized at all. No.
Yeah, I found it.
But my sticky notes, to find my sticky notes. That's
This is pretty cool, actually. Yeah. So this is a good example or a good lesson. So what I was doing was I was training some. Oh, okay. Will you actually let me get the door? I'm expecting a package, literally.
Go get your wine delivery. All right. And
I'm seriously expecting a package. I would never do that, but it's coming from China.
All right. What should we do to him when he's not on screen? If you know him, something the game he would play if I wasn't on screen. What I should do is I should just disappear off the screen. All right. And let him.
You know what? Oh, no. Everyone left. Well, it's the Erik Swanson show now. No, you should have done. You should have taken a screenshot and then put that as your virtual background tomorrow. And I'll be like, what the hell is going on? How is he in my apartment or my condo? That's funny. So where was I? What was I talking about? Thank you for letting me do that. I've been waiting for that package to come in.
I don't know. Did we have a purpose to this?
Yeah, I was talking about, this is what I was going to tell you.
Yeah,
so check this out. My ADD is kicking it. Look at that light. All right. So I have nobody ADD joke. That was awesome. So there's a training that I did here. And this is really, really cool because, Tim, what I did was this. I train speakers, coaching them to speak profitably on stages and different things that they're doing. Are you writing me a note? This is awesome.
I'm writing notes on this, but
are you really? Oh, you're writing notes on this. Okay. So what I did was this. I believe that there's 3 sections of here. Put me full screen for a second. I'll show you something.
Okay, hold on a second. We're gonna do that. Yep. There we go.
There's 3 sections to a speech. When you're speaking on stage, like back here, all these books and stages that I've spoken on, like the lanyards, all this stuff, right? So when I speak on stages and somebody says, oh, you've got 17 minutes for a speaking spot. This was not my speech, but it was one of my clients and my students. So I said, okay, 17 minutes. That's great. You have to section these out. So what I did was I shared with her that you have to section it out. For the intro's got to be like 2 minutes. The body of the content will be about 12 to 13 minutes. And then are they allowing you to close? Do they expect you? Oh yeah, they really want me to. I'm like, all right, great. So the promoter's looking to, do some co-op on money and so forth there. So you want to do a 3-minute close. And so here's the big point that I want to make is I explained this to her that this right here, the intro, this is to please me, the speaker. Okay. The intro is usually to please the individual. It's almost like the ego, which you don't want to focus in on that much. So this is to please me. This is to please the audience. And this is to please the actual promoter. So this is all about you. So don't worry about that. Cut that out or make it short, kill them with kindness of awesomeness and in content. And then the 3-minute close, this is actually for you to get asked back if you do a good job in the speech and make that person, the promoter money or whatever it is they're looking for, if that's important to them. I don't exactly know why I brought that up because I went and grabbed the door for a second, but there was a reason why I brought that up. And I thought it was really important that maybe it's because we were talking about, I was complimenting you that you're all about helping other people. And I see a lot of people getting, going out there or getting on these things, these lives and these, whatever this is, Zoom calls or whatever. And it's all about them. It's like, well, look at me. Here's a program that I'm selling. And they're self-serving rather than serving everyone, and it's all about serving other people first. And I believe that that's going to make you super, super successful. I really believe that.
Yeah, and I've seen how you've been developing the Habitude Warrior conferences over the years of meeting you, and I mean, was that like an idea that like spawned on you, or was it something that developed over time?
Interesting. It was actually it's been in development for years and years and years, but then it finally when I was working with Brian Tracy at the time, and this is years ago, and a gentleman comes up to me during the event, the program in Houston, Texas, and he says, he goes, "Hey son, hey Erik, come here for a second. I got to ask you a question." I was like, "Yes, sir." And he asked me this question. He goes, "What do you do? What do you do for Brian?" I said, "Well, I'm the best salesperson ever that could ever be for him. I'm amazing." He's like, "Okay, all right. So you do sales for him, all right?" He says, "What do you really want to do?" That's what he asked me. And I was like, wow, what a great question. What a really great question. So I walked away. I came back a couple times. I went away again because I was scared because of who it was. And I'll tell you who it was in a second. And then I finally came back and I said, "Okay, I think I figured it out." He's like, "What's that?" I said, "Mr. Rohn, Jim Rohn, I believe this is what I really want to do. I want to help myself and others with their habits and their attitude. That's what I really want to focus in on." And he said, "You should put that together." So Jim Rohn is the one who actually was the genesis of the word Habitude Warrior. And I went and coined that phrase and the branded it and so forth. And, got the trademarks and all that stuff, copyrights, trademarks, whatever they're called. My lawyers took care of it all. And boom, we're there. I remember I was having a conversation sitting with John Astroff from The Secret the next day after this event. And I told him about it. I was like, "Yeah, I was talking to Jim yesterday and we were talking about this, and he thinks it's a good idea." John looks at me and he goes, if you've ever sat with John, he's super nice, super sweet, and super direct sometimes. He looks at me and goes, "If you don't run with that, I will." That's what he said. And I was like, I'm running with it. So then he developed his brainathon, I think it is. Yeah. So that's the genesis of it. Habitude Warrior came around.
I mean, and isn't it unique that, all right, you and I, we've sat down with some of the greatest minds of our time. All right. And yet they will ask a question that'll make us come up with a great idea. I'm like, simple, easy marketing. Who would have ever thought that was not a thing? Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Habitude Warriors. It's like these things just like roll right off the tongue. And you know what I mean? You're in with the brilliant mindsets that we get to hang out with. And they go, "If you don't do that, I will." And if that's not the biggest kick in the butt to go, "Well, I guess I better get to work."
Right. Yeah, it's true, man. It's crazy, and that's the thing. You nailed it there, where these brilliant minds are allowing us to come up with the really great, brilliant ideas based on what they're, that's a great coach, right? The coach, great coach is somebody who advises you and counsels you, but you come up with amazing ideas. It's great. And they're just steering you.
Yeah. Awesome. I mean, it's like, Craig Duswalt's been my mentor for 8 years. And literally he sent an email out about something, and I forget it was. I'm in his elite program. And he sent something out about it. And I just wrote back, "Hey, Craig, I don't know if you're thinking about this, but I seen this today and I got to share it with you. Whether you do something or not, it doesn't matter, but I got to share. I think you should do this, my opinion." Craig literally within 15 minutes wrote back and he goes, "Great minds think alike." He says, "I thought about that, but I never thought about it that way. Thank you. Keep giving me your ideas." Right. This is the guy who spawned me to think. Yeah. And now I'm paying it back to him as well as to you. You know what I mean? And they don't get it that the great minds we get to hang out with, they don't get it that, while they're spawning the ideas in us, there's going to come a day that they're going to reach back to us for the ideas. And that's the way you've seen that too. I'm sure you're still giving Brian Tracy ideas. Yeah, of course, man. I mean, there's these great minds and you pass them on to the next generation. My business is a culmination of, the minds from Napoleon Hill and Og Mandino and of course Brian Tracy got it from these guys, Clement Stone, as well as Charlie Tremendous Jones. I had a opportunity to meet him one time. All these greats, and then they spawned the greatness into the Brian Tracy's, Les Brown, Tony Robbins. Jim Rohn
Tony used to work with and for Jim Rohn when he was a kid, when he was 18 years old. So all these, it's just passing it down. Now I work with, I've got a team of my co-MCs is what I call them. And they're just a dream team. Mm-hmm. And I have about probably 15, 20 individuals that I bring on, and I intermix them into the programs and so forth. And are they, professional speakers yet? Maybe not yet, but they're going to be after I'm done with them, right? After I'm not done with them, after I try to help them.
You help them progress to the next level.
Sure. That's the thing is, like, I never really had somebody help me. So I really wanted to give back. It's kind of like that, that father figure. If you have, let's say, you grew up with your parents where they weren't really around, or, deadbeat dad kind of thing, whatever, then what do is you become the best dad ever, right? You're like, I want to help people. I had the pleasure of having a great childhood. My father's absolute best friend of mine, and I just recently lost him recently, but he, thanks. And I had the pleasure of that, of really living with amazing, parents, and learning you call, I guess, just being a good human being, and I learned that from them. And I said, well, if other people can't have certain things that I can have, I guess, why don't I help them get those as well? So it's kind of like a Zig Ziglar thing, Zig, I forgot his name too. Amazing.
Well, that's my story, right? Is I went to church with Zig. That's how I get in. And everybody's like, what? They look at me and go, you would Zig? I'm like, yeah. And Zig said, Tim, don't cut your hair. Sooner or later, I'm going to, guys. I'm just saying, it's just not me anymore. But anyway, we've tapped into some minds like that. Well, it reminds me, Erik, of a statement we hear a lot. And tell me, when you're at an event, where would you, because of this statement, where would you rather be in the room? All right. You want to be out with the audience, or do you want to be backstage in the green room with all the speakers? Because they say it's best to not be the smartest guy in the room. You want to be the guy in the room who's soaking it up, the sponge in the room. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I want to be in both, to be honest with you. And that's interesting you bring that up, because at my conference, as you know, I run something called Habitude Warrior, and it's a conference that's been going on for years and years, where we do TED Talk style presentations. Mm-hmm. But one of my requirements, so it's a 2-day or a 3-day conference, and we have about 30 speakers, about 300-400 guests that come to those. And what's interesting about my conference is, I think it's a little unique, is I actually I ask politely, but I sort of require that the speaker who is going to be speaking on my stage actually stays there for all 3 days. Mm-hmm. And they're in the audience. Okay. So I don't technically have a green room. I literally, in all my venues, I do have a green room, but I put the green room so far that the speaker doesn't really want to go there. They could just put their stuff there if they like. If they want to go grab a cappuccino there and sit down, sure. But I want them to be in the audience. It's really an interesting thing. So you're right. I mean, obviously the concept that you're referring to is make sure you're not the smartest person in the room. Make sure you're elevating. They say here's a great saying that a lot of people say is, surround yourself with like-minded people. I used to believe that was perfect and it was great, but now I'm thinking, well, if you're doing that, you're staying stagnant. Surround yourself with up-leveled minds that are going to help you move to the next level as well. Right? Mm-hmm. So, like my buddy Greg Reed talks about all the time. He says, if you're going to get better at tennis, then play somebody that's better than you. Don't play somebody that's equal or less, because you're not going to get better. So I love that idea, so that goes to show. I
mean, it's one of the reasons I'm doing these podcast interviews. All right. Yeah. It's not about highlighting me. It's about getting to know you. All right. I'm bringing the people, Erik's got a bigger conference than I got. Why not bring Erik in, ask him questions and learn? And now, number one, I've got it recorded. Number two, Erik's going to promote it out everywhere because I interviewed him, right? It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also at this level, I think it's really important that, like, you believe this and you live by this. I do too. And other people like Craig and some great friends that we know that have their own conferences live by this. At this level, it's all about collaboration rather than competition.
Yeah. I'm not in competition ever with anybody. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. And but other industries and some people, and even in this industry in speaking, some people do have that competition. They're like, oh, well, you got that spot, or you got this, or, and it's that competition, and it's negative. For people like you and I, we don't do that. We look at it as collaboration. You're like, oh, great, let me highlight you. This is kind of funny. Like, I don't know this gentleman until recently. I just met him on Facebook, I think. And his name's Daniel Gomez. And I still have never met him. And from what I'm hearing, he does some great things and so forth. Well, he had an event the same exact day as me, just up the street, like an hour away or something. I'm like, so he was pulling, bless his heart, he was just doing what he was doing. He doesn't know me and so forth, but he noticed that there were a lot of speakers and they were all going to be in that state. So he was pulling from these speakers, and I guess the speakers want to be in everywhere, right? As much as they can. So it was a blessed situation. What was interesting is I could have looked at that. Initially, I looked at it like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? We're doing it on the same day. We should definitely not do that next time. Let's try to figure this out so we can both honor each other. And that would be the first, obvious thing to do. But what was cool is this: he ends up texting me, and I still have it. And I played it the other day on one of my Facebooks. He texted me a voice note. Maybe it was a voicemail, either way. And it said something like, hey, Eric, you don't know me yet, but my name's Daniel Gomez. And hey, I just wanted to say, man, good luck tomorrow. Rock the stage. I know you're going to rock. And I'd love to do a blessing over you if you don't mind, because I'm really spiritual and I'd love to do that. So, dear Lord, I'd like to, and he gave me a blessing, man. Yeah. And that was at 6:00 in the morning before my event started. I mean, this is a dude who's like, that blew me away. I was thinking, all right, he's got his own stuff. You know how hard it is to do events and corral 300-400 people and 30 speakers. And then you got your dream team. Then you got the venue. You got everything going on. The last thing you want to deal with is somebody else's event. And he was calling me to wish me awesomeness. Isn't that cool? Yeah. I think that's so cool. And what I did is, on stage is I took my phone and I said, hey, let's send him a message. So my whole audience sent him a message. It was cool. So my point is, it's all about collaboration. Look, we're all, there's only one, what day is today? I forget what date it is. April 20, whatever.
April something or other.
There's only one of these days this year. So there's going to be multiple events, multiple things that are happening in your industry, whatever industry you're in, for the listeners. So just don't worry about the competition. Worry about focus on collaboration and seeing how you can help them. Now, he and I have done X amount of events. We still haven't met yet. I don't think we've met. No, but we constantly. It's like this thing now. We highlight each other on our own events. It's kind of cool, man.
Well, I mean, it's like this. I mean, this weekend now with the virtual thing, it's getting even more intense. This weekend, I've got your event, an event here in town. And then a virtual event that I'm speaking at from a guy in Jersey. All right, 3 events in the weekend. And I already have like 12 or 13 interviews scheduled before these events came to me.
Yeah.
All right. And it's like, well, what do? You just continue on with your plan and give them the blessing. Yeah. A couple years ago in Craig's mastermind, there's another girl, Katrina Sawa, and I don't know if you know Katrina.
Nope.
We've been doing events, and it's like we seem to always have our events scheduled on the same weekend. So we did like the week before one of our events, we got on a chat like this and broadcast right into Craig's group about why they need to attend events. And then basically she would ask me, okay, so Tim, why don't you tell me about your event and what's so great about it and why they should attend it? And then I would ask her the same thing. So that was a collaboration to make people go, some people are going to relate with Eric. Some people are going to relate with Tim. Sure. Why not make them at least choose one and get off their couch and attend?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's collaboration, not competition. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I love that. I think it's really, really, and also there's a industry courtesy is what we call it. So a lot of us, and I'm sure you're part of this as well, this group, there's about probably 30 of us that do these big events in different places. Right. And all of us, we connect with each other to say, okay, this is what we're looking at. We're forecasting this date and that date. So we can go off of each other's dates and not put it on the same date, because that helps the audience connect with all of us rather than just some of us.
Just some of us. How far in advance do you plan yours? Like I've got my dates scheduled into 2021 already. How far in advance are you scheduled?
Yeah, we schedule about a year in advance.
Yeah. So
We
like,
have to have a 2-year waiting list to get on the stage, but we schedule about a year in advance.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, it's the speaking slots is one thing, but I'm like, I've got my hotel reserved for my 2021 May conference and my May 2020 conference, which is now going to be virtual because we can't have it.
Right.
But it's like we're scheduled. We already got our hotel locked in for 2021 for this date,
Right.
because of the fact that.
Are you getting good rates because of it?
Well, I had my contract signed for all of my events before this happened.
Well, you need to redo that, man.
I'm working on that, but I'm not trying to cheese my way out because of this. That's the other thing is I'm going to the hotel and saying, hey, and I went to them because of my May one this year. Looked like it wasn't going to happen. So I originally went to them in like March, the beginning of March. Is that all I'm asking for is this? I'm going to try to hold it until they say I can't.
Right.
Just don't hold me responsible for the hotel rooms in case people doesn't come. Okay, sure. We'll do that. I mean, I asked for things like that to them when it came down to, well, you can't have it because the city says no. Okay. When do you want to reschedule? I'm like, well, I already have one scheduled for November. Okay, well, contact us after and we'll try to find something. If not, don't worry about it. All right, we're going to let you out of this contract.
Right.
It's like they work with me because I work with them. But right. I know people out there who listen to it. They take this advice, and yes, you should renegotiate your contracts. Now's the time to do it. But don't do it in a way to, hey, let me screw the hotels over. Because sure. If you want to do business with them long term, they're going to remember that.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so yeah, I mean, you're a year or so out, and I like that. Same thing. You know what I mean? You got to plan ahead. All right. You've got to know what you're going to do. You got to work around other people. We both know Laurel Langmeyer.
Yeah.
Years ago, I did one conference where Laurel was doing her 3 days to cash in Orange County, California. And I had met her a month earlier at an event. And I said, hey, I said, any chance you're available on this date? And she goes, I'm doing my 3 days to cash. All right. And if you go on YouTube, it's somewhere on my YouTube channel. It is, we called it a seminar within a seminar. On her lunch break, she Skyped. Now, we didn't have all this stuff we have now. She Skyped into my room to answer the questions of the people in the room.
Right. Oh, that's great.
A seminar within a seminar.
That's great.
All right. And she's like, I'm going to do this while I'm eating my lunch because I've got to get back to my room.
Right.
But I want to do this because I want to serve you guys, Tim's people, because you know what I mean? Tim's a great guy and everything. And she offered a deal like over the Skype because number one, I gave her a deal. And Jason Nass was in the room and she goes, Jason, hold Tim when I make this offer because he's going to drop because he paid more than you guys are going to get.
Right.
All right. And she made this like killer offer. It was like, I think half the room went, yeah, I'll take that, you know? And she could have very well said, well, no, I'm putting on my own event. I can't.
Right.
That's collaboration. I don't know if you know what I mean. You doing what you did with that guy, it is phenomenal when it happens. And it makes you both look better, makes you both want to work together, makes both of your audiences want to follow the other.
Absolutely.
Yep. So you mentioned somebody's name though. I just had to pull it up.
Who did I mention? Oh, Og. Yeah. Greatest music in the world.
Lowest part of my life. 10 years ago, a friend of mine said, here, you should read this.
Really? Okay.
I still have it here. And it's funny, it's on my desk that I can reach for it. So my shelf is over there.
Have you read Acres of Diamonds?
Yes, I have Acres of Diamonds.
Okay.
Acres of Diamonds,
of course.
Philadelphia based, where I grew up, Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Yeah. So you also mentioned Greg Reed.
Yeah. So
tell us about, you know what I mean? I don't know Greg personally. I don't even think I'm Facebook friends with him, but anyway.
All right. Greg's a good dude, man. He's he's got a lot of things. He's got his event called Secret Knock.
Yep.
Work on that for about 7 years, I think, straight, something like that. And yeah, he's got a lot. He's like a walking Rolodex too. He knows so many individuals that it's pretty cool. And
it's funny, you know what I mean? And it's interesting. I find the people you're associated with, Eric, almost every one of them have this positive vibe. All right. You can't find many people saying bad things about them. And that seems to be the ones you're connected to. Yeah.
Interesting you say that. So I am connected. I continue to connect with them. Okay. Those people. So you're absolutely right. Like I'm not going to say like I haven't connected with certain people and then, they're their ego gets in the way or something happens. There are those individuals out there, and some people think I'm that guy, right? Which is fine. So what I do is I look at it and go, okay, the world's a big place, and I really want to connect with the right type of people. Like I had this amazing, I don't know if you know who Marie Diamond is. It's an energy worker.
I've heard the name, yeah.
Okay, she's in The Secret. She's an energy worker. She's from, I believe she's from Austria, Belgium. Excuse me. She's just a beautiful soul, beautiful person, and a great friend of mine. Pardon me, Natalie Susie introduced me to her. Well, sort of introduced me to her. Here's the introduction. Here's the way it went. Ready? I was talking about something about energy. She goes, "Oh my God, you know what? Do you know who Marie Diamond is?" I go, "No, not yet." She goes, "Oh my God, she's amazing. She was in The Secret. You should try to reach out to her and see if we can get her on our stage or something." I go, "Well, do you know her?" She goes, "No, I don't." I go, "All right, I'll know her by the end of the day." So I reached out, and sure enough, she went ahead and reached back and said, "Oh, I'd love to, I'd love to join. I'd love to, participate. How can I do that?" And so I said, "Well, let's touch base." She goes, "I'm free on Sunday to chat." So we're supposed to talk for 10 minutes. We spoke for 90 minutes. It was, she helped me feng shui my office here. It was awesome, and the point is though, I connect with people that I really want to connect with, and I continue to connect with them. Right. Mm-hmm. That's the key. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people, they connect with the wrong type of individuals that are not going to bring you to the next level,
Yeah.
and not challenge you and be there,
Yeah. Some interesting people like, do you know Scott McCain? I had Scott on last week. Yep. Great. Another great speaker out there. We both know Glenn and everything, but Ken Walls, I think Ken was in here a little bit ago. Ken Walls. All right. I connected him through a certain way. I mean, it's like all these people I'm finding that you're connected to, I'm connected to, know.
I met Ken through, Joe Ingram.
Yeah. And I know Bob, Joe. Yeah.
Bob, I think Bob, maybe Bob. No, I guess Joe did. Joe's awesome, man. And and they just connected me with Ken, and Ken and I became fast friends real quick. Ken becomes fast friends with a lot of people, like really quick. He's just that personality. He's got that awesomeness, He just sent me one of his books, actually, which I probably have right around here somewhere. Is this it? This might be it. Boom. Yeah, there you go. He just sent me one of his books.
Mr. Ken Walls.
Yeah.
Hold on. Put it up closer to the camera so everybody can get a big picture of that, baby.
Ken Walls, ladies and gentlemen. Ken Walls.
There you go, man.
Yeah. So really cool stuff there.
So I want to do something, you know what I mean? Really interesting that I've never done this before, but I want to do it with you because I think we can do it. I know. Wait a minute. I know we can do it because you and I are connected. Let's I'm gonna like write down 3 or 4 people's names, and let's do a positive shout out to 3 or 4 people's names who've either been on our stage.
What if you come up with somebody who's I'm like
no. I'm not talking we've mentioned some big names like Zig and everything. Let's talk about I want to talk about some people who've attended our conferences that we can do a shout out to right now that show how much they've impacted our lives. Maybe just attending our conferences, but it's a gift because you and I are shouting them out on a broadcast.
Okay.
You want to do it?
Sort of. I don't know how to get the list of all my attendees. So
no. Just pick
you start and I'll figure it out.
I'm going to pick somebody random who's attended my events.
Okay.
This guy, Paul Russo, attended my events. Really, Paul I think he's in send out cards. Really sharp guy. All right. He's won my prize thing, which is a camera giveaway. And he took it home and put it into action, started doing live interviews. So really? Paul Russo, ladies and gentlemen, is his name. All right. He's just attended my conference. He's a great guy. And you need to find him on Facebook and connect with him and just say, hey, Tim said I should connect with you on his show with Erik Swanson.
Nice.
How about you?
And I think Paul, if I'm not mistaken, Paul Russo is down in probably Houston, Texas area.
I think he's in Dallas, Texas.
Is it Dallas?
Yeah.
Because I just said, hey, Paul, are your ears ringing?
Yeah.
I just text him right now.
So that's what I mean. So basically, just somebody who's attended your conference that they just stuck in your mind. Let's do a shout out. That's what I was thinking of doing.
All right, sounds good. So here's a shout out for somebody. I want to do a shout out to a guy named Ron Kooming, and it's Couming. Ron Kooming. This guy runs RCS Solutions, and he's pretty darn amazing. He's built so many different SEO, an organization that teaches you and shows you and does it for you to get in front of more people. And it's really cool. And he's been going to our events for years. And then he became one of our speakers actually at one of our events because of attending and surrounding himself with all these individuals. So it was really cool. So shout out to Ron Koonman.
Cool. So it's interesting. I mean, when we do that now, they're like weird shout outs they're going to get. So let me go back now and think of somebody else that I can do this to from my conferences. So, I had this doctor lady who attended mine. All right. And she had issues with marketing because she's very, very intelligent, homeopathic type doctor. Her name is Hep. I can't pronounce her last name.
I hope it's not C.
Hep.
I hope her last name's not C.
No.
Hep C.
No, Hep C.
That would be weird. Hey, by the way, Assuming just did a shout out, I think.
I'm actually going to try typing it in and see if I can get her. Hep Sharad Ahmadi is her name. She's
Okay,
from Florida. All right. She's a homeopathic doctor. Very, very good. I've actually talked to her about some things that like health things I had questions, but she's come to my conferences and she's trying to learn marketing because she has such knowledge in how to take care of your life and your health and your body. All right. And she wants to figure out how to market that better. So she attended my conference. She's a standout person that you guys need to connect with. That's my next one.
Awesome.
How about you?
All right. I'll give you one more. Because you're making me dig here.
I know. I'm having to dig too, bro. But if anybody could do this challenge, you and I could.
All right. I'm going to give a shout out to Yuri Choi. Yuri Choi is what I call a transformational intentional coach. So she teaches you how to be intentional about your future. It's really cool. So quick shout out to her. She's a great friend of ours and one of our dream teams on the Habitude Warrior.
All right. So I'm going to do one last shout out that I know has been on both of our things. All right. And then we're going to work in doing this down, but been on both of our teams, has attended both of our conferences. She's my neighbor.
Oh, right. Is it Roxy?
Roxy.
Oh,
Roxy Lansford. Yes.
I love Roxy. Oh, she's awesome.
Roxy's been a great part of my life for the past 10 years, man. So,
dude, this big guy came up to me during one of my events in a different city. Like Roxy's Texas to me, but I was in like San Diego or something, and this big burly guy comes up, and it's like his name's Greg or something. He goes, "Hey, you've been hanging out with my wife or my girlfriend." I'm like, "Dude, I swear I didn't know she was married." He's like, no, it's positive. Like she loves you, man. That's great. I'm like, great. It was Roxy's boyfriend, I think, over in San Diego or something.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that was a fun twist to do. I mean, it was kind of hard to do though, but it was a fun twist to do.
Definitely a twist.
So Erik, all right, we've had a great conversation. Let's where can people get a hold of you? Let's get some locations out
here. Tim Gillette Show. This is where they can get a hold of me.
But other than that, I mean, yeah, I love it that they find you here, but where else do they find you on the web?
On the web. Okay. On the World Wide Web, they can find me. Let's see, habitudewarrior.com. There you go. It's pretty simple. Also, awesomeswanson.com goes to all of my social media. Awesomeswanson.com. That goes to all my social media in the world. So you could pick whichever platform you want. There's 6 different ones there. And really, I mean, if this is broadcasting, which it is live, obviously. So if you'd like, we've got an event this Friday, which is April 24th. Although if you have an event on that same day, of course, let's not mention mine because I want them to go to yours. Yeah. But if they want to come to the May 1st one, do you have an event on May 1st or no?
No, mine's not until May 8th is my next one after this one. So
perfect. Yeah. Okay. If they want to come to our events, they can just text the word summit to, well, there you go. It's right there. Bam. That's awesome. So summit to 59925. So in fact, I'm going to try right now.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to say that for those of you who are on the audio version of this and not seeing the video, it's the word summit, SUMMIT to the number 59925. All right. Get some great updates over there.
Yeah. What they'll do is they're going to get, Yeah, I just did it right here. If you see the video,
Cool.
So
Cool.
what's cool is they'll get a link that they can go to. Actually, in fact, I can share my screen if you want to see the lineup. I mean, have I showed you this yet?
No. Go ahead. See if you hit the share and see if it comes up. Hold on. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Look at that.
Dude, this lineup is.
Give me the full screen. There you go.
Yeah, this lineup is crazy. Look at this. So if they text that word summit to that number, then they're going to get this link right here, and they can sign up for free, put in their first name, last name, and their email address, and they'll get the ticket. And what's cool is this: we're not charging them, so it's free, and they get to see all these different, from Nito Cobain to Jim Cathcart, Marie Diamond, there she is, Shanda Sumter. Let's see, Sharon Lecter,
Mark Victor Hansen.
Yeah, I mean everybody. Joe
Frank and man,
Joe
Lennon. Oh my gosh, you got some great people, dude.
I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. Alex Stern started Constant Contact. Dan Clark. Crystal is Mark Victor Hansen's wife. She's amazing. NFL star Nick Lowry.
Oh my gosh, you got Nick, man. I like Nick.
Nick's a good buddy of mine. He's a really good friend of mine. Do you know him well?
I don't know him well. I met Nick at a Craig Duswalt thing many years ago, and have not really talked with chance with him. But I know him very well. Every time I get a chance, I watch his stuff. Yeah.
Let me text him right now. I want to come on live with Tim and I right now. All right. No. I just texted him, see if he wants to jump on. We got Jeff Hoffman. This is the founder of Priceline. Dr. Dennis Waitley. We've got Brian Tracy. Greg Reed, everybody's on this, man. Eric Lawhome, I mean, you name it. Scott Duffy. We got some Broadway hearts. These three right here: Elizabeth, Satomi, and Jessica. They're all on the Phantom of the Opera in New York City, and they're going to be performing on my live coming up here. And then here's my co-MCs, which are awesome. And this is the one that I would just introduce you to is Yuri. Yeah. So pretty cool stuff, man. I'm excited about it. It's gonna be great. Just go to global. What is it called? globalvirtualsummit.com, and they'll be able to jump on there and grab their ticket and off they go.
Woo-hoo. Cool. So let me do this and bring it back. So Erik, this has been a joy having you on, dude. I'm telling you, like,
Thanks,
we just having way too much fun.
We always do.
Yeah. But, awesome, Erik, I like to wind up my shows with a little game I like to call this or that.
Okay.
Have you heard about my game?
Not yet. This or that. Uh-oh.
I learned this from watching Sammy Hagar on TV, and I think I'm a little cooler than Sammy Hagar, but, Sammy, don't take offense to that.
You think Sammy's sitting there going, man, that Tim Gillette did it again.
Life's rough. So basically, Erik, I pick about 8 or 9 questions. I give you 2 different choices, and you pick which one works for you.
I pick number 3.
Oh, okay. That figures.
I had a shop teacher one year. He's like, I picked number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shop teacher. Anyway.
So anyway, here's what we do is I'm just going to tell them, you tell me which ones do you, if some of them we'll probably elaborate on, but some of them are just plain as day, pick and go. But let's start off with Star Wars or Star Trek.
Neither.
You don't do either, huh?
I don't do either. I do neither. Yeah.
Neither.
I went to Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars is I went to Star Wars the very first. I mean, that was 19, whatever it was. Let's see, 69, 79, about 1979, maybe, whenever it came out. 78, 79.
70 sometime, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember the line out the door, down the street in Washington, D.C. in Georgetown area. I remember that we waited like 2 hours in that line. It was great.
Well, my next one goes into dress code. Would you rather would you rather walk around in suit and tie or the yoga pants or shorts?
Both. Literally both. Like at the same time. I love that.
So is it the suit pants and the yoga top or the
No.
other way around?
Suit jacket, yoga pants that look like slacks. I have that actually. I literally do, from Lululemon, or as my girlfriend called, Lemon. Yes.
Okay, let's move on to riding in the car. You're taking a ride in the car. Are you going to play a podcast on or music on the radio?
I listen to Sirius XM, and I usually zone into like my kind of chill music, my chill dance music that I like to listen to. It's sort of like my meditation. And if it's not that, I throw in Brian Tracy, Success Principles or Success Mastery, which is one of the best. So I used to have something called Stepping on Millionaires, and that was my little thing that I called it. And Stepping on Millionaires, where one of my first vehicles years and years ago, when I was just starting with Brian Tracy, was one of my first cool cars. It was a M3 BMW, but it was a 2-door. It had 4 seats. I don't know who could get back there, but it was a 2-door. And then the thing was right below me, behind my driver's seat, and across from that side of the car to this side, all on the floorboard were these cassette tapes that looked like about the size of this, right? Cassette. There were 2 per package. And it went on, like Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, Richard Marchenko, Dennis Waitley, everybody. And Laura Langman, everybody. Now I share stages with all these people, which is cool. It's what I call Stepping on Millionaires. Cool.
So my next one is we're going out for a quick bite to eat. We're going to get a taco or a hamburger.
Can I get seriously, man? My answers are always both, because I'm always hungry and like I want to eat. I'm 6'3.5". So I'm a pretty tall dude, so I like to eat a lot, and I always order. Here's the deal: I always order 2 meals because I might not like the first one, and then what I do is I take the second one and I give it out to someone homeless or something. And I also have a rule: if I ever have to go to fast food, I always get 2 meals, one for me and one for somebody else.
That's a neat thing to do, man. I'm glad you told that on our show. So yeah.
Thanks, dude.
So the next one here, it could be you, could not. All right, but a beer or wine?
Oh man, neither. See, I'm either both or neither. This is the answers here. This is kind of cool.
How about coffee or tea?
Am I actually the only one that's answered neither or both?
so far.
I'm
pretty sure I have one of these down here that I'm going to nail you on sooner or later.
All right, hold on. Let me answer the other one. So I actually got rid of 3 things out of my life. I got rid of coffee, I got rid of alcohol, and I got rid of negativity. So those are the 3 things.
Yeah. And that's cool. All right,
Iced tea.
Yeah, iced tea. Yeah. So in the coffee or teacup would be the tea, but like some people have that they have or don't have. I started drinking, like I've got my moonshine and my Jack Daniels right here, but like, people are like, you alcoholic. And I'm like, I could sip on that all day long and I'm not getting drunk. And I also don't over drink it. You know what I mean? And most people have a problem when they overdo it.
And you're a rock star, man. You almost have to. I mean, I'm expecting to see a guitar and a cigarette. I mean, you have to. I was going to say. And some groupies.
Yep. Moving along. How about beach or mountains?
Both. I like both. I like to go to the beach and look at the mountains. That's what I love. I love that.
That's the great thing about being in California, I heard sometimes.
Yeah, like Lake Tahoe is very similar to that. What I'll do is I'll grab my rollerblades. Yes, I still have rollerblades, one of the original ones. And I'll cruise around the lake, and it's beautiful because you got summertime, but it's white-capped mountains up top. Really nice.
My next one here has got to be it's got to be a division, I'm sure. Do you think that pineapple belongs on pizza? Yes or no?
You're not going to like my answer, man.
What?
Sometimes. Telling you, brother. I'm playing Switzerland, brother. I'm telling you. I wonder if Switzerland says that. I don't mean to. Can you imagine getting in a domestic argument with your wife or girlfriend, and you're like, "Look, I just want to play Switzerland," and you actually live in Switzerland. You know what I mean? But yeah, sometimes I have this palate where I'm like, you know what, pineapple. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do that Hawaiian situation here. And sometimes I'm like, no Hawaiian. Let's go Mexican. I don't know what that meant.
There are people out there who will start a war over that. They're like, pineapple doesn't belong on pizza and stuff really? Like that. That's why I asked that question.
Have you been to Denver? And I would go there in a second, by the way. Yeah. I'm just saying, you told me any city or state right now, I would go there right now just because I really want to travel. Yeah. But Denver, in all of Colorado, what they do is they have honey on the tables at pizza joints, because what you do is you dip the crust into the honey after you eat the pizza. It's really cool.
I've seen that. I love that there. That's one of the unique things about Denver that I like. So this next one here, though, can create wars. So let's see which side you're on.
Pete.
Toilet paper, under or over?
So I don't. What I do is I literally leave it. I don't put it on this way or that way. I just leave it there. So I could just like throw it and just like, and I grab sheets and things are going everywhere and I look like a big bear. It's crazy. But yeah, so both.
Okay. So I had Cammie Baker on my broadcast last week, and Cammie said, this is my classic one of all time was Cammie. So if I'm dating a guy and I go to his house after the third time, if I have to switch the toilet paper from under to over, I break up with him. This relationship is going nowhere.
She's an under.
She's an over. She's an over. And if her boyfriend has under, she switches it 2 times. The third time she breaks up with him, she says.
Nice. That's funny. That's like a Seinfeld. Like, why'd you break up with her? Oh, she ate 1 pea at a time instead of like scooping peas, you know? That's funny stuff, man. I would have thought Cammie would have said bidet, you know?
Yeah. So my last one is a classic one. Boxers or briefs?
You're not going to like my answer.
Neither?
There you go. I'm telling you, man. I'm like, have you ever had an interview where they picked the middle of the road the whole way?
Wait a minute. The ones that I've had that were like the calmest, coolest people, and then you ask the toilet paper question, and like the fangs come out, you know? Yeah. No, you know, and like, yeah, okay, whoa, yeah, but. You know, that one, and I remember I was asking it to Scott McCain, and he said, that is the one question when I was hosting radio shows that you put up, and the lines would light up with phone callers,
really?
You know, and they're fighting over it. But it's a unique game. I like to play. I like to have fun, to close my show out, and it's cool. Everybody's got a different answer.
Scott's a great guy, by the way.
I got a chance to know him on the show. So yeah, last week or 2 weeks ago, I think it was Scott. This week I interviewed Tom Ziegler. Next week I get to interview Kyle Wilson. You know Kyle? Yeah. So it's like I've got all these good people. I'd love to get, I'd love to get connections that you have that I don't. I mean, but I don't have those connections. I'd love to get like Brian Tracy or John Asarov or Greg Reed. I'd love to get those on my show, but I don't have the relationship yet to just reach out and ask personally. So.
Yeah, I'm happy to help you in any way I can. I have this thing where I introduce a lot of people to a lot of people, and I actually have, if you can see this, like these are my checklists of people that I've connected to certain people. Like this guy, he's like, "Hey, can I meet these people?" I'm like, "Sure." So I just write their names down and I check mark them when I introduce them to them. So like that person got 12 or 15 different introductions. This one got 6 or 7. This one's got 8 or 9. So yeah, I'm happy to introduce you, man. It's all about helping people, you know. I want to call Scott McCain. I'll give him a call later. I really want him to leave my outgoing voicemail message.
Yeah. He's got the voice.
Yeah, like this is Erik Swanson's voice. May I help you? Or not voice, but voicemail. So funny. Anyway.
I've got to wind down. I've actually got to go do another one, but it's been fun having you on the show today, Erik. You're just a blast,
dude. Rock and roll, man. I'm excited about being here. Woohoo!
So, someday, ladies and gentlemen, Erik and I will do an event together, and I know you're all going to attend that. You're not going to. It's like the Howard Stern show. You're going to want to attend because you don't know what we're going to do next.
That's true. That's for sure, right?
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure being here with you, man. You're one of the good guys. My dad always says, follow good people. So there you go. I appreciate it.
So, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got to thank Erik for being on the show. Thank you for attending as a listener. We appreciate you as our listeners. Be sure to subscribe. We're on Apple Podcasts, on Anchor FM, and follow us over on YouTube too, as well. Catch our next show live where we have some great guests just like Erik, and some that are not quite as good as Erik, but Erik won't tell you. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you later. Bye now.
See you guys.